So, bro, how was your trip to Lahore?
Honestly, a lot of fun. I had a
Yeah.
great time. Yeah. This is the first time I mean, I've been in Lahore a few times before. To be very, very honest, I never really enjoyed it much, but this is the
Wait.
first time I went.
How are the roads though?
Roads were nice.
Okay.
Roads were
Sorry,
nice.
we go on. Yeah.
Every Lahori made sure that they reinforce it in my mind that their roads are the best. And to credit to them, their roads are the best. But this was the first time I went and I actually had a really good time. I've been a few times in the past, but it never really clicked with me. Once I just went for work for like a day, so there wasn't like too much I got a chance to go see. The last time I went, the air was like at its peak, like horribleness,
The smog.
the smog. So I was like I was in pain, but this time like I had a great time. It
But
was
Lahore in November,
yeah.
growing up, was incredible.
Yeah.
And now when you go in November, December, it's a death trap.
Yeah.
You feel like you're stuck in a chimney.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never been in that time. I was last time in Feb and this time right
Yeah.
now it was like October, so it was good.
It's bad, bro.
Yeah?
It's bad. It's bad.
Has it always been like this? Or has it gotten worse over the years?
Dude, it's gotten a lot worse with time, and I
Uh-huh.
remember the winters and summers spent in Lahore when I was younger,
Yeah.
and the ones now, and it's just different.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's reduced the quality of life there significantly. Like I think that a lot of people,
Uh-huh.
because life does get a bit infrastructurally difficult in Karachi,
For sure.
वो सोचते हैं कि यार लाहौर तो नहीं मूव होना, इस्लामाबाद तो नहीं मूव होना, do we want a second home there, something like that. And I think Lahore has been completely knocked out of that conversation just because of this. Because 3 months of the year, you don't know whether you can see 30, 40 feet in front of you. Like, yeah, you have the best roads in the country. Can you see them for
I know.
3 months out of 12?
Yeah. No, it's a bad situation.
Yeah. So what were the highlights, dude? What were the uniquely Lahori idiosyncrasies that you came across?
Compared to Karachi, you mean?
Yeah,
Right? Well,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
really different. I mean, yeah, we're all Pakistanis at the end of the day. We mostly have similarities, if I'm being honest. Like, 19-20 का फर्क होता है छोटी मोटी चीजों में, लेकिन जहाँ पे फर्क है वहाँ पे काफी stark फर्क है. You know what I mean? So I would say that, from what I've seen with Lahoris, super warm people.
Yeah.
Like Karachi people can be a lot more reserved. Like, we think 10 times before, we're gonna admit someone into our hospitality sphere. We're a bit like we're a bit like reserved. We're a bit cold. They're very warm people, man. Super welcoming, super warm, very very lively. Much more so than
Very lively.
very very lively. Much more so than Karachi.
I would actually, in my experience at least, I found the hospitality level to be similar, maybe 19-20, but the lively thing I completely agree with you on.
Yeah.
Like it's another, bro. They're like getting lit, getting lit at the kawaii, bro.
Yeah. Really really fun people. Especially like I was around like mostly Hsonians, and
Oh, are you okay?
man,
I'm kidding, bro. I'm boys with it. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I reject Hsonian slander. Every single Hsonian I've met, I've really gone along with. Like, yaro ke yaar type mein bahut zyada vibe aati hai. They're boys. Like, they're the type of guys like.
It's the hostel
if they were-
effect.
Huh?
It's the hostel effect.
Yeah, maybe it's the hostel effect, but it's like, those are the type of guys who I feel like, man, these are soldiers. They will ride and die with you. So I'm very, very fond of Hsonian, the entire Hsonian culture, if I'm being honest. But I think what's more, and I don't think you find something like that in Karachi,
Agreed.
that type of boys.
You don't.
camaraderie.
You don't, and particularly what I really appreciate about HSN is, yes, with KGS or KAS, you've got a lot of very accomplished people coming out of these schools. Routinely, you'll see some Pakistani accomplish something incredible abroad, and it'll be like a KGS alum, right?
Yeah, for sure.
At the same time, bro, our contribution to the country itself is not as strong.
No.
So if you see like, and there are confounding factors there. For example, a lot of the people attending HSN will be from landed families, right? And yes, people will say, aren't those also the same people f***ing up the country for the past 50 years? Yes, but also they're also the ones doing a lot of the stuff that's good.
Yeah.
So there's a balance, but
Yeah.
ultimately, my point being, they're consequential to Pakistan in a way that maybe at least the KGS people are not consequential to Pakistan, because so many of them move abroad. Sure, they do well, but how consequential are you to the place you grew up in?
Yeah. Like, I know you're a grammarian. My brother was also a grammarian. I like a lot of grammar people, no doubt about
I
it.
like some of the grammar people.
Yeah, I'm friends with a lot of them. But man, I think Hsonians are cooler. Not gonna lie.
I mean, yeah, bro, they're like mega chuds, bro.
I love
Like,
I love them. Like if you ask me what's the best school in Pakistan or Bad, like I would say I like HSN. I like the culture of the place. I like a lot about it.
Look, for me, I definitely think that there was this might sound a bit douchebaggy, but I think there was a level of sophistication in the grammarians that the Hsonians did not reach the exact same way.
Mhm.
But if I had to choose, like, dude, what kind of boys do I want? Like, yeah, like my boys from my school were my boys,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, of course.
But
Our boys are our boys.
where would I find more people like that?
Yeah.
Obviously, it is.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunately, we have to admit that yes, it is Hs.
They're bros, man.
Yeah.
They're bros. And I really like some of the connotations of what you were saying about how we are grammarians are a bit more cultured and a little bit this, because it's a great segue into the other really Lahore centric idiosyncrasy I notice, especially when you contrast it to Karachi, is the nature of snobbishness or elitism in Lahore as compared to Karachi. Because make no mistake,
Very different.
Make no mistake, like these are the two most important cities in the country. So there's obviously an air of elitism and snobbishness that is in both places. You know, Karachi people are elitist, and so are Lahoris. But the reasons why they're elitist couldn't be more different, man, when you really look into it. So what I gather from the Lahoris, right, it's that their elitism, their like pride, their snobbishness is very much found in the material city that they have, the big beautiful city, the roads, the infrastructure. You know, they kind of look down on like, hey, tum Karachi se ho, tumhare paas roads hain bhi. What was the stuff? What's the type of stuff they say?
Bro, it'll just be like, you know, you meet a Lahori for the first time.
Yeah.
You'll be like, Assalamu alaikum, aap kaise hain? मेरा नाम आप कराची से हैं? जी यार आपकी roads बहुत खराब हैं. Like, brother, I just met you. I just met you.
I just said hi to you.
You know, you're at a शादी, you're like, यार ये कोरमा है, ये कढ़ाई है. यार आप एयरपोर्ट कैसे पहुंचे थे? आपकी रोड्स तो बड़ी खराब हैं.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, bro, I'm not trying to talk about
it's
this
like
right
the first thing, like, man, every single, like, as much as I enjoyed them and stuff, but like, I couldn't go 5 minutes without meeting a Lahori, and the first thing they say, it's like, you know, man, Karachi's infrastructure is I'm like, yeah.
But another one,
But like, they make it a point. They're like so, like, you know, they take so much of a pride.
You meet them for the first time and they're like, आप पंजाबियों को बहुत जाहिल समझते हैं. Like, bro, I never said that. I genuinely, obviously, I do not think that.
Yeah.
And I didn't say anything.
Yeah,
I said hi.
Oh,
I said salam.
That's a very good point, because another thing I noticed with them is that they are very like, you know, proud of their culture. They're like, you know, they want to invite you into, it's a very inviting culture. Make no mistake, like they want you to be a part and celebrate with them, but they do kind of want you to kind of assimilate more into, like, bro, I'm not Punjabi, you know what I mean? I can't do Bhangra the way you do, you know?
Bro, there's a certain insecurity there. And I don't say this it's the same kind of insecurity that we also have about Urdu. And let me be specific.
Yeah.
So, for example, the way in a certain social strata in Pakistan, it's considered valuable or desirable to have good English skills, right? Or people will prefer to converse English.
Yeah.
Or the same
English
way,
medium, Urdu medium, Urdu medium as a derogatory thing. That's what you're trying to say.
Bro, at the same time, at a lower social strata in Punjab, what I've noticed living there for many years recently is there's a lot of people who hold Urdu in high esteem and will knock Punjabi because of it.
Okay.
So it's more of a status symbol to speak Urdu than it is to speak Punjabi, and it shouldn't be that way. Like, I'm not trying to knock anyone's ethnic tongue, mother tongue.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? But
the same way Urdu speakers might be a bit insecure of English speakers, you're saying that maybe Punjabi speakers are a little bit insecure of Urdu speakers.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to say. Yeah.
And I don't know how I noticed that in Sindh as well, where I'm like, dude, I'm Urdu speaking, right? I'm not any of these ethnicities, but I don't want you to be insecure about your language. Like, straight up.
No.
Yeah. Like, you might troll me a bit. You might say that why do all of us have to speak your language, and I might troll you a bit, but it's not serious.
Yeah.
It's not that deep. But yeah, so there's that very loud and proud angle,
Yeah.
and there's also the angle of I prefer Urdu, I prefer English, and there's a hierarchy. And for some reason, Punjabi is at the bottom of it,
Yeah.
which is something that at some level, every ethnicity in Pakistan is struggling with, including the Urdu speakers when it comes to English. And it's like, how do all of us collectively get out of that? And this is not to say that we should abandon English. It's a very useful tool in terms of succeeding in the world. But I've learned, learn three languages, you know?
Yeah. I will say though that in terms of the colonial hangover, the Lahoris feel like they are well past it compared to us.
I think they're better than us.
I don't think they hold any delusions of, hey, like, you know, we are like this, we are the new British. Like, they're not trying to be anyone they're not. They're very, very
like the dogs and ayahs not allowed type thing.
Yeah. They're not into that. Like, you know, they don't have close to the type of colonial hangover that you see in Karachi, where, you know, there's an active pride that, you know, a lot of Karachiites and Karachi-based institutions, grammar being one of them, take in the fact that, hey, you know, the colonizers made this for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't see that with them at like very little soul. It's like they don't strive to be this English, you know,
brown
westernized. I don't think they aspire to be like this westernized brown man the way a Karachiite does. They aspire.
Even HSN, which is a colonial creation, is a lot more desi in its everyday. Like, you know, even with their turbans or whatnot, than we are.
Yeah. I'd say a big difference is that they're a lot less like, you know, colonial hangover. They're a lot less like, you know, impressed by westernization. They're much more secure in some ways of their own indigenous culture.
Do you think it's also maybe because the dominant culture that they have to fall back on in Lahore, which is their own, is explicitly Punjab's culture?
Yeah.
Punjabi culture. And in Karachi, maybe we don't have that the same way because it's so cosmopolitan.
Yeah.
There isn't a totalizing culture, right? Because if you've got your major split there's a lot of Urdu-speaking Muhajirs, there's a lot of Sindhis, Pashtuns, and then you've got Punjabis, Baloch, all of that. So there's no one totalizing culture to fall back on. It's very cosmopolitan. So when you fall back from the whole brown Saab thing, you don't have an immediate frame of reference to what you're going back to.
I can see that working. Like, your logic makes sense. It's because you don't have a cultural superstructure. What Karachi and defaulting on is maybe the British.
You don't have a binary. So,
yeah, because
and maybe actually
the cultural vacuum is filled in by
maybe that's why Islamabad's the worst out of all of us in this regard. Maybe because Islamabad post-colonialism is not even like a sophisticated brown Saab colonialism. It's like like we did this fake American accent kind of.
Okay.
Right? So it's even worse. Yeah, it's even worse than that, right? So they're in a terribly ugly way in denial about how desi they are, which should not be something they're ashamed of.
Yeah, I will give
the Lahoris on
for this. They are the most proud of who they are. They don't try to be anything other than Pakistan.
They've got the least amount of inner work to do.
Yeah, they have the least cognitive dissonance. That's the least cognitive dissonance out of the major cities. They're proud of who they are, and I respect them for that. You know what I mean?
You saw that video I showed you of that auntie who's like, you know, roasting HSonians.
Yeah.
Bro, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff
I won't tolerate HSonian slander.
Bro, I honestly, if someone made that stuff about KGS, bro, I would be laughing my ass off. Like, it's not that deep. It's genuinely like, when I opened that up and we put it, like, you know, when I saw her, I was like, this is quintessentially someone that I would disagree with. Like, that's the first thing that came to my mind. But it was so funny, man. And I feel like, you know, like, you have to have a bit of a bada dil when it comes to things like this. Like, yeah, we troll so much, we should also be trolled.
No, yeah, 100%.
HSonians troll so much, they should also be trolled.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Fair. It's fair play, man. It's no bad.
Sherelle in your mother's jewels.
Sherelle, yeah, she showed me her
crazy,
page.
Bro.
Shout out her.
It's hilarious.
But yeah, coming back to it. So yeah, I think Lahoris have a very, very materialistic type of snobbishness, where it's like they're judging your clothes, they're judging what you're wearing, they're judging your bank account, they're judging, like, you know, my city's got better roads than yours. Their elitism comes from this, you know, not to say lowbrow, but kind of lowbrow place of, you know what I mean? It's kind of low IQ elitism, if I'm being honest with you. And
मेरे दादा की इतनी कनाल ज़मीन है,
Exactly.
something more
And
पे, you
the
know?
absolute irony in what I'm saying is that my thoughts about this are literally the manifestation of Karachi-based elitism. You know what I mean? That's the paradox of all this.
It's like,
See,
ew, like you're proud of this?
yeah. Like Karachi-based elitism is not about like, man, you're wearing the best clothes, you know, you have the nicest stuff. Karachi-based elitism is a lot more just intellectual heritage. Like, oh, I'm well-read, I'm cultured, I'm a Karachiite, I've traveled the world, I'm cosmopolitan. You're just a backwards village folk. You know,
Yeah.
that's what the Karachi-based elitist mindset is like. You know, we are well-cultured, we are well-traveled, you are not. You know what I mean? And that's literally what I'm saying about
Yeah.
in a way. You know what I mean? The irony is amazing.
Bro, I would follow up, but that's exactly how I feel as well. That is literally the critique I have.
Yeah, like a Karachi elitist is not gonna tell you, man, my house is bigger than yours, my canals are more than yours. A Karachi elitist is gonna tell you, you know, my dada used to be the shoe polisher for Lord Mountbatten back in the day. That's okay, cool. You know, I am the 11th generation attending KGS.
Yeah.
You know, that's the Karachi type of elitism.
My-
Lahoris
my-
don't have that. They have a
My
different
dada
type of
used to
elitism.
dance with Obama when he came to Karachi in the 70s. They were at the hotel Metropole together, actually.
That is the Karachi.
That's
So
what
the elitism goes both ways, but yeah, it's very, very different. I think my Karachi bias, I think Karachi has a high IQ elitism, like intellectually performative, and Lahore has just very, very materialist, you know, show off type elitism. Let's put it like that. That's the major difference I saw.
Is one better than the other?
I think in some ways some are better. Like sometimes
Karachi elitism is better than
no,
Lahore
I
elitism.
disagree, man.
What do you
Like
say?
sometimes it's like, you know, I like the simplicity of the Lahore elitist because it's not trying to play some sort of mental gymnastic games. It's very, very in your face. It's like, man, okay, if I want some clout here, I'm gonna wear a nice watch,
Yeah.
pull up in a nice car, and I'm gonna get some clout. It's very, very straightforward. Brother, you could be the coolest, most accomplished guy in Karachi, you know? Genius, you've done well and stuff, but unless you have some of that blue-blooded intellectual type of stuff,
If you don't
still
fit the
won't
brown
accept-
Sahab mold.
If you don't fit the brown Saab, the Babu mold, like, you know, you won't have that.
Bro,
stuff.
literally.
So in some ways, I think the Lahore-based elitism is more. There's more of a meritocracy in their elitism, where anyone can kind of be at the top and be flexing their guns. I think Karachi-based elitism is not very meritocratic. It relies a lot upon heritage. My dada used to polish Lord Mountbatten's shoes type of shit. It's like,
Club
yeah, but what did you
memberships,
do?
shit
Huh?
like that.
Huh?
The club memberships and shit.
Yeah.
Like, bro, the other day I got a club membership of mine confirmed, and then someone was like, I was talking to a friend about it. He's like, so how long have you been a member? It's like a while.
Yeah.
He's like, so was your dada a member? I was like, bro, just, just stop it, right, man? Just
So
stop.
I think there's pros and cons to both types of
Yeah,
elitism.
yeah,
You
no,
know,
I can see that.
is one more unpleasant than the other? It really depends on your temperament. I think I dislike and I like both of them. I like them for some reasons and I dislike them for some reasons. So we characterize Lahore elitism as like, you know, it's kind of very materialist. Karachi elitism is very intellectually snobbish. Which one is better? I think both have a good bad thing. It really depends. I like the simplicity of Lahore elitism.
It's like an ogre, like, you know, showing off his watch.
Yeah, it's like an ogre showing off his watch. Like, it's kind of cool. Like, thick watch.
Chill guy.
It's like, what? But nice guy, chill guy, you know? A Karachi elitist is probably a pretty fucking pleasant person as well.
Yeah.
They're mostly pretty unpleasant.
But it's probably like, what I think of is like a bald man in a linen shirt at Cafe Flow on a Sunday afternoon. And he's got like those rimmed spectacles and some funny color.
Yeah.
You know? And he won't wear like a normal watch. He'll wear something like he's never gonna wear a Rolex. It'll be like a JLC or something.
Yeah.
You know, with like some Mughal inscription on it.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, this is the battle of such and such. How do you not know which year it was in?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. So that's the difference between the elitism. But I think it's really, really fun and worthwhile to kind of look into the history of the two places to kind of understand how we ended up here.
Because as much as we're both going along with and bashing the elitisms,
Yeah,
those do represent in some way
the best tendencies of the place.
the best tendencies of the place and what the ultimate aspirational form of a man or a woman is in both of these places.
Yeah.
There's a reason that those are the most resources are tending towards these archetypal personalities. So
Yeah.
And that can be traced to what these cities have held in high esteem.
Yeah. What is the heritage and what is the history of these cities? Like if you look at Karachi, right?
I mean, quintessentially, what you see in Karachi is cosmopolitanism.
Yeah.
Right? Every community comes in, plays some part. You've got a highly anglicized elite from before now, even from the times of the Parsis.
Yeah.
So they do tend to hold those things in higher esteem. You've got very well educational institutions, all of that. Then post-partition, you see the immigrant communities that come in.
Yeah. Even pre-partition, man, because the port of Karachi was established in like the 1800 by the British, the
Center of
economic,
commerce, yeah.
it became a center, it's like became a regional center of commerce, you know. So a lot of even diasporas started immigrating to Karachi for economic opportunity. And even before that, even if you go before that, right, even in the times of like, you know, the tribal wars and stuff in Balochistan, a lot of those tribes used to find safe haven in Karachi. So Karachi has this genuine, you know, grassroots multiculturalism embedded in its history, you know, and it has commerce as well because it's a trading city, because it's a port city. It's got commerce and entrepreneurial
And it's no coincidence
activity
that
rooted in its history.
when it attracted
Yeah,
immigrants,
yeah,
there's a reason Karachi attracted the most Maimans, Khojas, all of these business communities
from Gujarat. Yeah,
from Gujarat that are just like, known to be killer in this stead.
yeah,
Of course, they want to come to the port city, right?
yeah,
And then at the same time, you've got the people from UP,
yeah,
just supposed to be more professionally oriented or more intellectually oriented.
yeah,
You can debate on the merits and demerits of that characterization all day, but historically, this has been a strain in both of those communities.
mm-hmm.
So when you bring that together,
Mm-hmm.
you've created a city that's the most intellectually dynamic,
Mm-hmm.
that is, in a positive sense, the most genuinely, authentically progressive,
Yeah,
and it is also the most enterprising.
yeah,
And, I always, I've lived in other parts of Pakistan now, and I've loved it.
yeah,
I love Lahore, I love Islamabad, but Karachi jaise log kahin bhi nahi.
yeah.
And when I say that, people will take that as some sort of ethnic comment.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to do with the fact, yeah, I'm Urdu speaking, sure, but I'm not talking about just my community.
Yeah, Karachi is home to everyone.
Bro, the immigrant communities are a certain percentage.
Yeah.
We've got the largest Pashtun population outside of KPK in Karachi.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of Sindhis naturally because,
It's Sindh.
it's Sindh. And
you have a few million Punjabis here as well, man.
So you've got settled urban Punjabis here that identify more than anything as Karachiites, and they've been here forever.
Yeah.
Right?
Karachi is like trans ethnic.
Yeah.
Karachi is truly trans ethnic. Like if you want to see like the Pakistan project scaled down 10 times.
Precisely.
The ideal Pakistan project can be found in Karachi. The way
Karachi
all
is
these
Pakistan.
Karachi is Pakistan.
It's the best of Pakistan.
Yeah.
When you say that, there's nowhere else like Karachi, you are complimenting the best, the cream of the crop of the rest of the country as well. It's not.
Yeah, because the Pakistan project was, we want a place for all the different Muslim ethnicities to live together. That's what we want. Like no place sums that up on a smaller level the way Karachi does.
Perfect microcosm.
Karachi is Pakistan. Karachi is literally Pakistan. So yeah, in that sense, I do agree with you. Karachi's identity is like it's trans ethnic. It's about like being part of the city.
We're not going for the Western progressive melting pot idea where everyone melts into this one amorphous mass which has no identity of its own.
No, absolutely.
But these communities that we're talking about, okay, so the trading communities from Gujarat, they breathe new life into the commerce of the city. Yeah. And they are some of the biggest in the country. Yeah. If not the biggest. Yeah. Right? The professional classes that built the modern, all the good things that modern Karachi provides you. Yeah. Right? Those were also, a lot of them were also, immigrated from India, from other provinces.
UP, yeah.
It's all complementary.
Yeah, and honestly, shout out the host. This is Sindhi.
Shout out the host.
They have a very, very tolerant culture. I mean, it is the place where Hinduism did form. It's a place where historically Hindus and Muslims have lived in peace. And shout out the Sindhi culture, the Sindhi people who are that tolerant, who kind of oversee all of this together. Like, hey, all of us can live in peace. It's no surprise that it's happening on their land.
Genuinely, like, there's often, there've been ethnic tensions in the past.
Absolutely.
Thankfully, right now, sometimes we forget how recent they were.
Yeah.
Like, within our lifetimes, it hasn't been that bad. But
Yeah.
early 90s, there have been points it was bad. Unfortunately, we live in a time where it isn't like that.
Yeah.
Or at least it's not as bad as it used to.
Yeah.
But to the fundamental reality of us being hosted, and in large part being able to live freely and with dignity in what was formerly completely someone else's land,
Yeah.
that is something that's positive that needs to be acknowledged.
Absolutely.
Like, I think, like, I think I'm very, like, pro Karachi.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm not a Karachi, like, nationalist, but I'm
Yeah.
very pro Karachi.
You can't be pro Karachi culture without being pro Sindh culture in some way, man.
In an indirect way.
Yeah.
Yes. Because that's what has facilitated it and allowed it to become what it is.
Yeah.
And so there's that symbiotic relationship. And there's, a lot of negatives about our city as well.
Yeah, of course. Like our roads.
Like our
Like our
roads.
Lahori brothers need to keep pointing out to us every time we speak to them. Love them.
और तो ख्वाबों में ये चीज़
हाँ.
सुनाई देती है कोई मुझे मेरे पास आ रहा है मैं उसे पहले सलाम कर रहा हूँ और बोल रहे हैं आप पहुंचे कैसे इधर
आप पहुंचे
हाँ आप पहुंचे कैसे अच्छा भाई प्लेन आए हैं एयरपोर्ट कैसे पहुंचे like it's like shit like that.
Yeah.
But and so that explains a lot about Karachi.
Yeah, the history.
The history of it. It makes perfect sense that we've ended up being this way today, where we're incredibly entrepreneurial, where we contribute a lot to National Exchequer, and then intellectually we also have, we've got a thriving art scene. We've got a lot of stuff going for us. Similarly in Lahore, we weren't the center of the British Raj's commerce in the area. Lahore wasn't, but it was the seat of the Mughal Empire.
The Delhi Sultanate, the Mughal Empire. I mean, Lahore has really been the city to end all cities in terms of the political and the military and all that stuff. The legacy of these things in the region,
I thought about this recently.
Yeah.
But I'd go to Lahore and I say, man, these shadi halls are so ostentatious. Everything's so golden. If you go to, a lot of the homes will be very ornately done.
Yeah.
Even the exterior facade will be, and I was like, man, they don't have the sophistication of Karachiites do. Like, we do it so nicely and, in a relatively sober way.
Yeah.
I thought about it and I was like, dude,
this is like peak colonial hangover in a way.
What we do is peak colonial hangover, but
even this thought in itself, in a way.
No, okay. I think it's a bit more nuanced than that. When Lahoris are making very ornamental, very golden, Desi style furniture or facades, it is harkening back to the fact that they've got a Mughal legacy.
Yeah.
Right? It is, in a way, bastardized because modern construction techniques and standards, and we haven't been able to reinvent that aesthetic and bring it forward a few hundred years.
Yeah.
Maybe we get there. And I think we do eventually. But it is, in a highly imperfect way, a shout out to their own history.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Which is more than we can say about what we're making it.
No, absolutely. It totally makes sense that they have such a proclivity to make these beautiful roads and all this stuff. It has been historically the place where the Mughals, the Delhi Sultanate, the Ghaznavids have made their beautiful capitals, so it's part and parcel of the culture, and even part and parcel of the Lahori culture in a lot of ways. I think, like, they have a very, very masculine thing about them. They have a very, very aggressive, militaristic, aggressive thing about them that you don't see much in Karachi, the Pelwan type scene. And that also makes sense because when you really look at it, all these great empires that we're talking about, that their militaries were based over here, it is historically had been like a garrison city in a lot of ways, where the Akbar or the Mughal emperors, they centered the cultural and military in Lahore. That was the place. So there's no surprise that that manifests even today. And it's also no surprise that if
And
you
in
look
fact,
at
the only complaint we can really make of that is that you don't take that revivalism far enough.
yeah, in some ways, yeah. And it's also very, very because like I mean, if you go back maybe 600-700 years, right, you couldn't tell which dynasty is going to be in charge of Lahore year over year. You know, it swapped so many hands, be it the Chagtai Khanate, or be the Delhi Sultanate, or be the Mughal Empire. You know, it swapped so many hands. It's no surprise that, you know, if you look at the political scene, it's no surprise that the most mastermind political maneuvering happens there, because kind of like, suppose you don't know what the ruling party going to be tomorrow. You need to be a shrewd political operator to survive in that ever exchange, like, you know, ever changing environment. So you kind of see that manifest in Lahore's outside political importance in Pakistan today as well. It is part of the soil to be a shrewd political operator. In many
And like,
ways.
fortunately or unfortunately, when you look at a Hsonian graduating class and you see who stood out amongst them, you might also be looking at a snapshot of what your parliament will look like in 10 years, 20 years, 30
Yeah,
years.
it do the price.
That's, you know, and obviously it's because, you know, it's like Eden.
Yeah,
Yeah, Boris Johnson went there, so did everyone else.
yeah.
You know that this is going to be a reflection of uh, what your country's political scene will look like
Down the
years from
line,
now.
yeah, for sure.
So then that mindset of being the seat of the empire culturally, militarily, and you know, it's no surprise that in the British era, they fancied themselves as, say, the martial race.
The martial race stuff,
Right.
yeah, they lean into it.
They really do really lean into it.
Yeah.
And you know, you could say it was debunked later or whatever,
Mhm.
but culturally, is that a large part of their aspiration? Absolutely, it is.
Mhm.
You can't deny that,
Yeah.
right? The same way, the quintessential, even Hsonian Lahori aspirational guy would be a lot more oriented towards that stuff than someone from Karachi would be.
Yeah.
Like, you know, especially in the trading communities or the other immigrants in Karachi, I, before this generation, don't see a lot of or any emphasis on physicality at all.
Yeah.
Right? The idea of you being fit or healthy
Mhm.
was you being skinny or just not being fat,
Yeah.
not being physically competent or muscular.
Yeah.
Muscular.
Yeah. Lahore doesn't have that. And it's also reflected in, like, you know, professional sports. Like, you know, most of your cricket team does come out of Lahore.
And really, they don't
Punjab,
take
you
it
know?
as far as like KP does, where like everyone, even if they're fat, they're kind of built because it's just so protein heavy and they've got a very physical culture. Like Lahore still has like the parathe and lassi, and you know, they've got all of that. But there is this idea that being physically strong is something that we should collectively prize.
Yeah.
Which maybe we don't do.
We don't have that in
Yeah.
Karachi that much. I think we have, like, I remember when I was in school, right? So my school KAS used, like, and LAS was like our sister school, and we used to have inter-school sports competitions all the time. And for the most part, they used to, as far as I remember, batter us.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were good at that shit. Football too, they were amazing at. Like, we were better than at, we were like better than at swimming. We were close to the sea, makes sense. You know what I mean? We used to beat them at swimming. We used to beat them at cricket, actually, surprisingly. But like football, they used to batter us. I do remember that. Yeah, I think volleyball we used to fuck them too.
Well, also there aren't there like 10 people in a year in your school, so like
Like 30. But compared to our size, man, like we used to punch above our weight, bro.
yeah.
Yeah, I think we used to everything other than football and cricket. We used to bash grammar, by the way.
Yeah.
Bash them, bash their skulls in.
I'm gonna plead your ignorance, but I have no idea. I just wasn't even on that scene, so I have no.
Neither was I, but I know we used to bash you guys.
I actually think that
Bash your head in.
so this exchange will demonstrate something perfectly. So the same way, in a completely unprompted, uncalled for way, when a Karachiite goes to Lahore and says salam, and they tell you everything wrong with your city and everything good about theirs, that is exactly what people from KS do to people from KGS.
Yeah.
Like, we meet you guys. Hey bro, how's it going? Bro, KGS is so terrible, bro. We beat you with this. bro, our school has a gymnasium. Did you know that? Bro,
Yeah.
Shaisa. Like, you know,
Yeah.
no one asked. Genuinely. And the good thing there is that we're gonna be like, okay, we appreciate that the boys roll deep, all of that's great. Okay. We like the fact that you have pride in your school. I wish more people from KGS have pride in their school. I had pride in my school. Or at least I really enjoyed my time in my school.
Yeah.
But again, unprompted in the most Lahori fashion ever, always the KS guys, you know, we wanting to have a 2-3 hour debate on which school's better, and we're just gonna be there like, it's okay. Doesn't have to be like
You
that.
got me there. I think it's the first time you ever got me on anything, like, you know, but I'll give you credit. That's yours. You got me there, man. Fair way.
But again, in the same way that there's not one isn't objectively worse or better than the other. I mean, we also have our form of KGS elitism against the KS, which is actually very similar to how we were talking about how Karachi is Lahore. Because we'll be like, oh, at the end of the day, like, yeah, they're doing some cool stuff. They might, you know, they'll be doing some things on a big scale, or that might be true. But like, we're more cerebral. We're pulling more things off that are on a more global, sophisticated level.
Yeah.
Like, that's how they'll see it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, fine, you know, you run this very nice factory, but have you read all these books that I've read? No.
In a way, yeah.
It's that kind of
if Karachi is Pakistan, KGS is Karachi. So KGS in a way is Pakistan. I don't know how that works.
I hope not. but yeah, no, I find that really interesting. But then I've also seen, like, dude, my closest family friends have always been from Lahore, maybe even more so than from Karachi. And a lot of these things just simply don't apply to them because obviously I've known them forever and they're not trying to prove anything to me. They're just like very normal.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm talking about like the average chud.
Yeah.
Like you meet someone and they just like have to throw this in your face.
Yeah.
Which like really makes me think, which is like, okay, phone हमारे छिन रहे हैं कराची में, roads हमारी खराब हैं, ठीक है, इस हर लिहाज से no, बुरी हालत हमारी है, जलती फिर भी तुम्हारी है. मुझे ये नहीं समझ आता. Right? Like, what is the
जल्दी हमारी भी है कहीं कहीं.
नहीं देखो,
हम भी हमेशा बोलते हैं we contribute 90% of the money, लेकिन हमारा सीन क्यों खराब है, लाहौर को सब कुछ क्यों मिलता है.
यार,
हम भी बोलते हैं.
I actually don't think that is that. But it's a political slogan. I think that's a political slogan. I don't think that's pointed at Lahoris. That's a political slogan, which is to say, यार हमें वो dues नहीं मिल रहे जो कराची पूरे मुल्क को contribute करता है. That's not the same as देखो, when we talk about Lahore's like infrastructure, or we talk about Lahore's you know, anything with the Shalimar Bagh, the Badshahi Mosque. Yeah. We're full of admiration. Yeah, for sure. I can't say the same about when a Lahori, when the average Lahori chud speaks about Karachi. I don't get
not true, man. Not true. Like, despite all of this stuff they do, almost all the Lahoris I meet, they do say that they like the people from Karachi more, man. Most of them do say that. Like genuinely most of them are like, you know, we love Karachi people. We get along so much more with Karachi people. I have a lot of clothes. So I would actually say that some of my best friends are from Lahore, man. Like, I have some really, really amazing friends there, and almost all of them are like, yeah, you know, average person in Karachi is better. They do say that. They enjoy more of Karachiites.
I won't deny that a lot
they are graceful about it.
That a lot of them are appreciative of Karachi people on the whole. But again, bro, the average chud, which is like reining you in and going like, man, yeah, your roads is like, nice. Like, you know,
the contradictions can exist, man. Yeah. You can hold both opinions to be true.
But I do think that, and you know, yeah, obviously, a lot of people are also going to point out the fact that there are a lot of people who are now going to come and say that, the popular discourse in Karachi, by Karachiites about Lahore, is also things like, हम में बहुत तमीज़ ज़्यादा है और हम अदब वाले होते हैं, you know? And yeah, that, you know, strain of thinking also does exist. It's not that it doesn't. Yeah, like, we're not speaking for everybody. Yeah, here
we're both quite obviously the best cities, so the rest of Pakistan can.
Yeah, you know what I really will not appreciate at the end of this is some Islamabadi coming in and saying that, oh, bro, actually, you forgot to talk about us. You know, and like,
we're not part of this conversation, man.
You're not part of like.
We're talking about cities here, not villages.
As much as I enjoy...
They do have the most beautiful city, though. We have to give them credit.
I lived there for the past, 6 years? 5, 6 years? Phenomenal time, which I'm now admitting on camera. I don't think if I've even said it to a lot of people. Bro, it is out of this world.
Yeah.
And to the point that it spoils you.
Yeah.
Right? So whenever
Like I 100% want to have a house in Islamabad one day, man. I think it's so beautiful.
it is
So peaceful.
if you have want like a pied a terre, right, it is the perfect place to have one. And it's to the point where whenever I come back to Karachi, say even after 3 or 4 months, I'd be like, why do I drive here?
Yeah.
Why is it like this?
Yeah.
It really spoils you to that extent. And I would say that hands down, the nicest neighborhoods to live in Pakistan are in Islamabad. I always say this to people that if I could take the people from Karachi and I could move them to Islamabad, that would be my ideal life.
Yeah.
It would be perfect.
Yeah, probably.
And there's dude, you know the housing, for example, in Islamabad is growing prohibitively expensive, like to the point that you wouldn't believe, right? Like I remember when I first moved there, I was actually like walking a couple of streets down from where I live, and I asked someone, I was, what are the property prices like in this area? And they were maybe 20-30% more than a comparable place in Karachi. So you're comparing like F6 Islamabad and Phase 6 DHA Karachi, right? The Islamabadi price would be 20-30% more. But as I lived there, as I watched, they grew to like 100-150% more. And it was, the numbers are eye-popping. No normal person can like afford to live in or at least buy fresh in those neighborhoods anymore. But I also get it. Like if there's just a few strips of land left where you're that secure, where you're that pampered.
Maybe supply and demand.
Supply and demand.
Yeah.
So props to Islamabad.
Yeah. Sick place.